No, I almost did. I had to hold it. Spitters are quitters.
True. I'm so funny. Like, he's already doing, like, spit takes at the beginning of the podcast
yeah.
even started. That's how funny I am. And that's how good of friends we are.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
The fuck?
We're friends.
Can't you tell?
Yes,
Anyway.
yes, obviously.
All right, I'm gonna let you do the more, like, factual part of things. I feel like that's where you shine. So
Yeah,
do you
sure.
want to get into that?
Yeah, sure. All right, so, first off, what's up, everybody? I don't know where we're gonna put this in the episode, but I figured I'll just shove it in here.
Oh yeah, shove it in.
You're shoving it in.
That's a good way to start.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Anyway.
We are going to be talking about and I guess reviewing was it 22?
I think it's 22, yeah.
22 film 2022 film Smile. I watched it about a week ago, but I don't remember. I think it was probably closer than that, but I just forgot a lot already. And she just watched it earlier today for the second time.
It's true.
Yep. So she's got some differing opinions than what she had before, so it'll be interesting to talk about. It was directed by some dude who's never made movies before.
Should we maybe perhaps say our names first? Or do you think
we
should
were
just
going to do
include
that
later when we include our
group
name thing?
I thought we were going to do that in the beginning part that we were going to record later.
No, you're right. That's
or
probably
are we not doing that?
No, we are. I just was thinking that was like with our podcast name, but now that you mention it, it's probably just good to put it all there. You're right.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, first off, we can also just say my name is Josh. My name is Josh.
His name is Josh.
I'm pointing to you in the fucking camera.
Oh, you're pointing opposite on my end. Point the other way.
Oh. Which I already said we were gonna use your video.
Yeah. Okay.
Pointing to the fucking
point
ether.
The other way.
My name is Josh.
And my name's Abby.
And this is a podcast that we have yet to name, but we are starting it anyway.
Yeah, we know basically nothing about this, and it's very spliced together, but here we are. Okay, go ahead. Yeah. Go ahead. Who directed this movie?
Shit, I have to go back to look at it again. We're already killing this. All right, Parker Finn. And this dude came out of college, seemingly made a couple shorts, and then went right into like huge motion pictures. With Smile and Smile 2, which is like for your first film to become not only like producing a sequel, but also like I would say they're pretty big movies that have made.
No, I heard
a
about
lot
Smile.
Of money,
I heard about Smile everywhere, and I haven't seen the second one, but I did still hear like a lot of people talking about going to see it when it came out.
But the first one, the biggest thing was they had that whole like viral campaign where like they had people just smiling in the stands of like baseball games.
Did
and
they?
Shit.
That's fucking creepy.
Yeah. No, that was the whole thing. So like even if you weren't a big movie person, you probably seen it because you were watching like football, and then you saw someone fucking doing the creepy ass smile in the fucking stand. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Viral marketing. Yeah. Are we gonna try and do our best smile?
I just felt like I should. I had a lot of caffeine. Wait, ew. Nacho Libre means smile. Smile monster. Why are you crossing your eyes? They don't do that.
Cut that.
Cut that. That's not gonna make it.
No, don't do that in the pod.
Don't do that in the pod. Now you're shortening it.
Yeah, we got. But that's gonna be our first shirt. Is just don't do that in the podcast.
Okay, yeah. We'll shorten it.
We're already getting merch started, guys. We're really killing it.
Link in the bio. Yeah.
link in the bio. Yeah. We also have a website that's definitely gonna exist at some point. Sure. But anyway, it's this dude's first movie. And it stars the daughter of Kevin Bacon, which we just found out.
Yeah. When I actually mixed him up
What's
with
her
Kevin
name?
Spacey. My bad.
Shit, we actually have to pronounce her name correctly.
I think it's Sosie. Sosie Bacon.
It's just Sosie Ruth Bacon is her name. But she just goes by Sosie Bacon as an actress.
Yeah. Imagine your last name being Bacon. Would you like that
I mean,
or not really?
all right. She is a small, petite woman.
Correct.
I'm a big, beefy boy. If my last name was Bacon, I would have killed myself in high school. Yeah. You know what
Oh
I'm
my
saying?
god. You don't imagine
Yeah.
like she's in high school and they're going around calling her like Porky or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she weighs like 12 pounds. Like if I
Yeah.
walked around, they'll be like, "Hey, what are you doing with all them titties, Bacon?" Like, what are you doing?
Why? Why is titties? Why has your titties been such a main topic of conversation?
My titties were out yesterday, so I've been able to stop thinking about it. You
They
know what I mean?
were.
Body positivity.
Insert Nacho Libre cosplay here.
It is in the background over there a little bit.
Oh,
Up on
nice.
top there, you can kind of see them.
It's exciting little sneak preview. Anyway, so Sosie Bacon.
Sosie Bacon.
Yep.
You got Cal Penn from Harold and Kumar fame in a supporting role. I wouldn't call him a guest star because he's throughout the movie, but he's not a huge role. Oh, you also have A Train from The Boys plays her. Is it her fiance or boyfriend? What is their relationship?
That's her fiance. If you're talking about
Fiance.
Trevor.
Trevor. Yeah.
Jesse T. Usher. I didn't know. I've never seen The Boys. But
Yeah, I think that's probably his most well-known role at this point.
That's her fiance.
A Train in The Boys. Yeah.
And spoiler alert, I fucking hate that dude. Not in real life.
We'll get into this.
Yes, we will.
But I mean, I guess we could start it off because we're just talking about that. Well,
Believe women.
Listen, I'm with you, but I think the movie is very particular about what it's showing. Where I think it's all from her perspective, which is why it feels like no one's siding with her because she doesn't believe anyone is actually on her side.
Yes.
You know, so I think she's like kind of an unreliable narrator, but she's not narrating.
Here's
but,
here's the issue. The issue with movies like this is it's so frustrating because in every single one of them ever, no one believes it's always a woman. First of all, it's always
she's
a woman.
Hysterical.
Like it's like fucking. It's like in fucking Paranormal Activity. Like, that was the first movie I remember seeing, like, a really solid example of that, because I watched that when I was pretty young. Micah. I remember his name, Micah. No, Mika. It's, like, spelled Micah, but it's Mika is the boyfriend. I don't even remember her name.
Yes.
I just remember his because I was, like, so pissed
I think it's
at him.
like Catherine. I think it's like it's white woman name.
But
I'll look it up right now.
But basically, Mika... Talk. Mika is the fucking worst. He is, and I'm not gonna get into this too deeply because I could make a whole video on Paranormal Activity, and we probably will.
We were definitely gonna do that one, yeah.
Yeah, but just a little Katie and Mika, and it is basically just those two the entire movie. And he does not believe her. And even when it has become, like, glaringly obvious, and then when he sort of does start to believe her, he tries to take advantage of it and was, like, brought a fucking Ouija board home and shit like that. He was just the fucking worst. And he didn't believe her. And this is, like, a thing that is so common in movies of this variety where, like, they just don't believe. And it's like, I get it. Is it extremely hard to believe? Yes. And, like, would you be hesitant? Yes. But I would like to think that if I had a loved one, yes, my initial thought would probably be like psychosis or like hallucinations or, you know, something like that. But if they were coming to me and they're like, hey, I know this sounds insane, but like, this is what's happened. Here's the evidence I found. Like, this is what she was describing to me before she died. This is when it started. This is what I was seeing. Mm-hmm. Like, no one will believe me. Please help me. Then, like, because it's like, it makes sense at the beginning for Rose to not believe Laura, because she's just met this woman. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. This woman has just come in here, and also she does this for a living. She's expecting this person to be psychotic. Yes. But it's like, I don't know. I think just when it comes to, like, her sister, obviously, her and her sister clearly have this, like, complicated relationship. So that's, like, another thing entirely. But I think Trevor really disappointed me because, first of all, that man cannot handle shit. Like, and she says it in the movie. There's a line where she basically says, the second anything gets a little bit real or a little bit hard, you can't handle it, basically. And it's true. Yeah. Like, anytime she tried to talk to him, he, like, tried to push it off or deflect or whatever.
I want to push back. I mean, of course, the man is going to come to the man's defense. It's just a little bit. Mm-hmm. Just a little bit. Mm-hmm. Is, like... I mean, not to get too far ahead, because this is still very early in the movie when this happens. Like, he does defend her when they're talking to the sister. Yeah. By basically being like, she would do this shit for free. And, you're talking down to her and stuff like that. And, like he starts off well. It's only when she starts...
Nothing bad's happening there yet. Nothing is going on.
That is true.
It's easy for him to be supportive when she's fine.
Like, when she brings in... he brings in the therapist,
right,
like, to the house,
right.
From someone who does not believe in curses and the occult and stuff, I do think that is the proper thing to do when your significant other is kind of losing it. And to be fair, she's not really explaining herself at the beginning.
He's not, like, he doesn't let her, though.
But, like, he's literally, it's like, are you good? And then she's just like, I saw a patient, like, kill themselves, or, like, one of my patients kill themselves.
But follow-up questions, though.
I don't know if he's expecting her, like, to be like, oh, she smiled at me the whole time and slit her throat.
It's not even that, and clearly she wasn't ready. Okay, so at that point, too, Rose didn't even believe that anything was happening herself. Like, she at this point is still thinking, like, nothing's happening. This is just, like, a stress or, like, a PTSD reaction or whatever. Here's my thing. I honestly am not mad at Trevor for calling the therapist in. I can see why Rose would be, considering, like, how much she has going on and how stressed she is and the fact that no one believes her. I can understand why she reacted the way she did, but I, as a viewer, don't blame Trevor for something like that. To me, I think, when she brings up, one of my patients died today, he says nothing else. And then she offers up the information that it was right in front of her. To me, if my significant other was like, hey, my patient died right in front of me today, I'd be like, what the fuck happened? Are you okay? Like, whatever. And he uses it as to try to get an excuse to not go to dinner with her sister. That was completely a selfish move on his part. Didn't ask any other information.
That is true.
So, like, and even if she hadn't said anything at that point, again, she didn't even believe it at that point. She was still making excuses for herself.
But the thing is, it didn't seem like she wanted to go either. It didn't seem like she really liked her sister at all.
Clearly they have their differences, and clearly her sister is attached to her childhood trauma. But it's like, the issue that I have is Trevor clearly... That was a selfish desire, though. He wasn't trying to get out of dinner truly for her sake. He was trying to get out of dinner because he didn't want to go to dinner. So I think that was pretty clear.
I have to rewatch some of them early scenes just to get a vibe, because I didn't get that, but it's also, I just might not be looking at that.
Yeah, because you're a man. But also, the scene that frustrated me the most with Trevor is the one where, and I understand that this would be at the point where if I were Trevor and I was her fiance, I would be tripping a little bit about her, for sure, because this was right after her nephew's birthday party, where she had gifted her nephew what she thought was a model train, and it turned out to be her dead cat mustache.
Dead cat.
which is so
First
fucked
off,
up.
Mustache is a great cat name. I love that.
I
Name for
actually
a cat.
hate that. So
You hate
that's so
Mustache as a name? I think
I
that's so
think as
good.
as like an elder Gen Z that like I have like the 2014 like mustache trauma. Do you remember when like everything was like had mustaches all over them?
No. What?
This exists. Like 20
Everything had mustaches all
Yeah,
over
it was
them?
like a trend. Like everywhere you went, there was like mustaches on shirts. There was like mustache necklaces. They sold like little glasses with like a dangly thing with like a mustache. They had
Yeah,
socks.
that's just been around for fucking
No, but it was
80
like
years now.
no, but it was like a thing. Like for a couple, like probably like a year or
People
something.
just
It was so
ironically wore
concentrated.
fucking mustaches on their shirt.
Unironically wore mustaches everywhere. I'm so
Don't
ask Emily,
know
because she same generation, and we
Friend
can
of the
look it
pod,
up.
Emily.
Friend of the pod.
Friend of the pod. Friend of the pod.
But anyway, we can look it up later. But that's not the point.
Yeah.
The
We're
point
gonna
is that
sidetrack from mustache.
I can understand though why Trevor would be freaked out at this point, because if something like that happens and she's like, I swear it wasn't me, but like she brought the present and stuff, like that's gonna seem fucked up. And especially being like her sister, the sister's husband, the little, her nephew, all of them, I don't expect any of them to be understanding in that situation, if I'm being honest.
No.
Like, I would be so fucked up.
Especially when
that.
she's just standing around and be like, it wasn't me.
It wasn't me. I swear. And then just fucking falls into the coffee table and goes, ah!
Yeah. I think if that was me in that situation, I just leave. Mm-hmm. You know, I don't try to explain anything to anybody.
No,
I'm like,
I'd book it.
I gotta get the fuck out.
I would book it. And that's another thing. And I don't know. Anyway,
yeah,
I'm gonna try not to.
When she falls through the table, she's just sitting there with fucking glass in her arms. She's just like, ah!
Can we talk about her screams in this movie at some point? I don't want to get there yet because I still want to say the last part. But dude, her screams and her like fuck, like constantly. But
oh wait, yeah. Well, I don't want to get too far ahead because there's still something I need to talk about in the very beginning. But
okay,
go ahead.
Let me finish. I'm almost done. So basically, my point is, I wouldn't expect the sister or anything to be understanding. I don't expect Trevor to not be freaked out, but what I will say is, what you can tell about her is even if she is crazy, she clearly has emotions about it. She is freaked out herself. She is scared. She clearly like does not know what's going on. And genuinely, at the very least, if you can't look at it from a paranormal sense or anything like that, you can tell she genuinely does not believe that she did that. She clearly like does not in any way believe that she has done this and like is very confused, scared, whatever, all the things. So I'm not even upset at Trevor for being a little freaked, but to me, if you had decided to bind your life to someone forever, which to me, if you have proposed to someone, that is as good as being married because you have made the decision to get married to them. So to me, I'm like, I would expect just as much out of a fiance that I would a husband. And at that point, I'm like, if she genuinely, you can tell she is terrified. Like she feels horrible. She is a wreck. You can be upset and you can have your emotions about it. But she literally, they like park in their driveway and she's like, I have to tell you something. And she tries to start talking to him. And he's like, I can't do this right now. And she's like, wait, please stay. Like, let me talk to you. And he's like, I can't do this. I can't do this. And literally like just cuts her off and like won't let her speak, won't let her say anything and just leaves. So to me, I was just really pissed at him because I'm like, he didn't even try.
Like, you think I believe in ghosts?
Yeah, exactly.
It's ghosts?
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, brother, like, I get it. She sounds crazy, but this is also your fiance. So, like, try to have some sort of, like, he just completely, like, gave up on her. The second shit got sticky, and to his credit, it was pretty sticky, but it's, like, also, like, he just, I don't know. To me, I don't, again, I'm not mad that he got the therapist out there. I probably would have gone further if I were him. I'd probably try to get her like institutionalized. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that is like a whole other story. I think I just don't like the fact that he clearly abandoned her. He was trying to, and the therapist thing seemed less of like a I care about you thing and more of a you're freaking me out. I don't want this to be my responsibility thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you know what? I can see that where it feels like he's pawning
Yeah.
the hard work off
Yeah.
on somebody else. Yeah.
So it feels like he cares about her on a surface level way. Like he cares about her when she's good and doing well and nice, and he likes what their life could be together. But as soon as like it gets a little dark, you know, he's not with it.
Yeah, and as we know earlier, and this is getting back to what I wanted to talk about. The movie opens up with us, like her as a young child, looking at her dead mom. Like she's found her mom, like surrounded by pills, and she's puked
Vomit
on her.
and,
Yeah, it's just a really bad scene, and that's how she walks in on her mom. And he knows about this, and he says so right before he leaves. He's just like he's like, oh, this is hereditary, you're gonna be just like your mom.
Yeah,
I'm getting the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Which is
so
crazy.
Like that's the worst
trauma,
part.
her like biggest thing, and you're like putting that on her.
Yeah, it's like she's already in a low moment, and you're gonna it's a thing where like parents kind of do this sometimes where they're going to be like, you're just going to end up like worst person in your family. You know what I mean? Like, you know, you're going to be like Uncle Troy. You know what I mean? You're going to be like, you know, like that's the type of stuff that like you hear, and it for some reason it always hits worse because they always say it when you're at your like lowest, and then you're like, why is it like the shit that happened to them like being thrown at me when I'm already down? You didn't have to do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree.
Helpful? She's like a mess.
It's not helpful. It's not helpful. She's obviously going through shit.
Yeah.
Like, you know, if you're going to leave, just leave. You didn't have to throw in that little aside.
No, and then he like sleeps on the couch that night. Like, I don't know. He just was overall, and also that reminded me when you brought that up. Important context for anyone who has not seen the movie. Like you said, the opening scene it is her mom who has just attempted suicide. Well, you see this a little later. You really just see her already like dead at this point, like vomit, whatever. Yeah. But you come to find out later that her mom attempted suicide. And little Rose, who's like 10 years old at the time, walks in and her mom is asking her to call for help. Rose basically shakes her head no and leaves.
Yeah. And
naturally, this has been like a guilt and a trauma that Rose has carried her entire life and cannot get over. Even though like we can, I think from the outside recognize that wasn't her fault. You know, that was a traumatizing experience. She was little. She didn't know what to do. And they don't really get into details, but Rose does mention something like when she is talking to her mother towards the end, which we'll get into, that she was a monster when she was growing up.
Yeah.
And you also hear that in conversations with her sister Holly, that just like their mom just was like crazy and awful to them growing up. There's like hints at maybe some abuse or something like that. So
it's probably a combination of substance abuse and just mental illness that she, like, you know, that just in general will inflict trauma upon your kids.
For sure.
So
so I think that's worth mentioning is like this is a pretty because what the smile demon, whatever you want to call it, the smile entity, its whole thing is that it feeds off of trauma. So it really seeks out people who are traumatized. Yeah. So I think
which we find out from the guy in the prison. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So we, you know, that is important to mention as she does deal with that, and you can see that very early on with her. She is a workaholic. She the second she is forced to take like a paid leave, she's like doesn't know what to do with herself. Like she just cannot stand to be alone with her thoughts. But Anyway, I just thought that was worth mentioning, as that is like our main character's main issue throughout.
Yeah, that's her like. It's it's hard to call it an arc because she just goes lower from where she was.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah, it
mean?
never really
Like
gets better for her.
usually they end up in a better spot. She does not.
No,
But
no.
yeah, so I just wanted to just like go back a little bit,
What's up?
because like we kind of gloss over the where we start in the movie,
Yeah.
where it's like we start. She is uh like I don't know if we even get a glimpse that she is kind of like going through stuff, and like I think it just kind of drops us in
Mm-hmm.
to her with that patient. Um,
It does, yeah.
and then so like they're sitting in the room, and the woman who I will say she has the scariest smile out of anybody in the
I
movie.
deeply agree. That's why she was used for the poster for sure.
100%, and I do think
Laura, by the way, that's her
that
name in the
is
movie.
Laura. Yeah. I do think that's kind of to the movie's detriment. Because every subsequent one, you're like,
That's
oh, this
fair.
one's gonna be creepy, and then it's just not. Like the
Yeah.
therapist
I was just
smile
about to say the therapist
was
smile
terrible.
sucked.
She was going like,
We have to include pictures. Hers was awful.
yeah, like we'll post it over here,
Yeah, it'll be somewhere.
yeah, somewhere around
Yeah.
here. But yeah, hers is pretty bad. Like not that the actress is bad. It's just that
She couldn't do the
smile.
smile. She wasn't getting it.
Yeah, like and then the patient is pretty bad too.
Yeah,
The
we all
dude.
die. We all die. My mom dies.
Yeah, we all die. We all die. I'm like, he's just spitting facts, man.
Yeah, he's like, mom's gonna die. I'm gonna die. You're gonna die.
Like,
We all die.
he's like, you know
Life
what?
never
I've
gets
had
better.
them thoughts.
We're like, preach. Exactly.
Yeah, we're like, you
That's
know
I've
what?
been
I get
saying.
it. Yeah,
I probably
put me
should
in one
also
of
be
them
locked
places
up.
too.
Precisely. Yeah.
Who else did we see smile in this?
Oh, a good amount. We saw well, we do see at the end. Nah, let's save that. I was.
Oh yeah, we gotta wait.
Let's save that. But
That
we
has
do
got to be
see
the
a
end of this
couple.
podcast.
We see like a random dude at some point when she's doing research on how far this curse, she starts to call it, goes back. We do see this random dude. His was okay. The one on the security footage, who he killed himself in front of that older woman at the gas station.
Yes, yeah, that was pretty good.
He was fine. I think Joel's smile was fine, but it wasn't like anything to write home about. Like it wasn't bad, but it was Joel's her like cop friend that she clearly had like a prior romantic connection with.
At the end, right? Like
yeah, towards the end, you get
towards
that
the
from
end.
him.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
you see that his is fine. It's just like not. It's not really creepy, but it's not bad either.
Yeah. And like for a movie that's called Smile, you would think that you would put a little extra effort in the smiles,
I
but it
honestly
doesn't.
think that the actress, what her name in real life, Laura's actress is Caitlin Stacy. And
Yeah.
she really, in my opinion, is kind of the only one that like truly got it. Besides, I do think the end, we do get one that I think is pretty decent. But I think hers was the only one that's truly excellent. I do think that's a good point, is that is kind of to the movie's detriment, because even if it wasn't on the posters, you do see that at the beginning, because apart from the mother's suicide, right after that, you do get thrown into this scene pretty much immediately with Laura. So that is the first smile you see in the movie. And it's great. It's great. Yeah. It's real creepy. But it's chilling. I got goosebumps.
Just I think what it nails in that scene is the terror that she has, and then the silence, and then like she like sees like the broken vase on the ground after she calls for help.
Yep.
And she just turns around and she's just already smiling.
Yeah. Describe that a little more for people who
like
set the scene a little bit.
So what happens is they're having a normal conversation, and then they're talking about what
Normal.
the
Laura
woman's
has been
seeing
brought in for like a
for
psychoanalysis.
psych
But
exam. Yeah,
yeah,
exactly. Just like normal therapist conversation, I
yeah,
guess, for someone going through it like that. And then you get like it kind of ramps up. She talks about how she's seen like people throughout her life, like her grandparents, people she saw in the grocery store, and it all started with her seeing her professor kill himself. Right?
that's the end. She sees her grandfather die in front of her when she was younger.
Yeah.
But what started things for her is her professor bludgeoned himself with a hammer in front of her.
Yes. Yeah, and that's
Yes,
what got her
that's what
the
got her.
smile curse.
Yes.
Um, and then she starts freaking out, like she sees whatever it is in
And
front
she it's
of
kind of
her.
like ramping up already because also as she's trying to explain this to our main character Rose like along with everyone else when they hear this
Yeah.
doesn't believe
Uh-huh.
her and is do you have a history of hallucinations,
Yeah, she's like,
whatever.
I'm
So
not crazy.
it's already
I'm
ramping up.
pre-med or whatever. Yeah, like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's just like, which is, I don't know if that's necessarily means you're not going nuts, but like, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, and then like it's just that she starts to freak out even more, saying it's like it's right behind her, and then like Rosie's looking around like, what the fuck? Like, there's
Yeah,
something
she's like,
behind
huh?
me. And like we don't see anything either, the viewer, and then as she's freaking out against the wall, that's when Rosie goes to call, and then after the call is done and she goes to hang up the phone, you get that eerie silence.
Yeah, just yeah, because the emergency phone, she has to turn around to use it, and then it's just
Hmm.
quiet, and then
Which
she's, what's up?
seems like a bad idea.
I agree
uh
to
you
have
know,
it at
because
the
like
back of the room where you have to turn
if
away.
that was if that was someone being violent, you shouldn't turn your back to them and use the phone. You know what
I
I mean?
agree.
Like,
Yeah, like in real life, that's probably great for the purpose of what they were doing in that scene. But yeah,
yeah, no, it
definitely.
works for that, but
But
in practicality, maybe fix that for next time.
no, I completely agree. Cause so she's like completely turned around, does her little, bring people up, blah blah blah, and then she
uh
slowly turns around and like in Laura's panic, as she like
yeah.
sees something, she knocks over a vase, as Josh said.
Yes.
So you slowly see the
Or a
broken vase on
vase.
the ground, or vase, if you will.
Vase.
You see the broken vase on the ground, and then it like pans to Laura's character, who now has a glass shard in her hand, or a ceramic shard, whatever the fuck. And she has
Yeah, we're
the
not sure. We weren't
creepiest.
there when that shit was
We
made,
weren't
so
there, yeah. We didn't make it.
yeah.
So she,
Just in case you guys
she's,
were wondering.
yeah, in case you're
We weren't
wondering,
involved with
we didn't
making this.
manufacture anything in this movie. Actually, it's not
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, she's standing there with her little glass shard, and she does end up slitting her throat right in front of our main character Rose, but not before she has the creepiest smile in the movie.
Yeah,
And then she's lying there dead at the end, mind you. She's lying there with like blood just pouring out of
gushing.
her neck.
Yeah.
And she still has the smile that I'm pretty
The
sure only
smile.
we and Rose can see. But that was super
Yeah.
chilling, I will say.
Like I think that is, yeah, like it's already the creepiest smile, but it's also just like it really sets the tone of like that is not the worst. I like trigger warning suicide that we
Mm-hmm.
see in this
We'll
film.
put a trigger
Eh,
warning at the beginning.
Just yeah, we should, yeah, we
Content
definitely got to
warning.
put it in the little thing where it's just like, hey, this whole movie is about killing yourself.
If you're depressed, maybe don't listen to this.
Maybe don't. Which is why I think my initial watch was not great. I was
It
like,
hit me
yeah,
pretty hard.
yeah,
It hit me pretty hard. And we'll get into
yeah.
that, but
And I think I like this movie. Um, I guess I'll wait until the end to say what I would change about this movie.
yeah,
But
let's do that at the end.
mhm. But yeah, no, but it's just like yeah, it sets the tone. It's like, oh, this whole movie is just going to be about people killing themselves in front of other people.
Yeah.
Like, it's like okay.
Yeah.
But then, so when we get out of that, do we meet we meet her ex-boyfriend right after that scene, right? Or is it?
Yeah, we do. We don't know it's her ex yet, but Joel, he is a detective. She used to date him before her current fiance Trevor.
Yeah.
And we don't know it's, their relationship yet, but she is interviewed by them to give like a statement after she sees Laura being killed. So yeah, that's what we see, and then after that we go pretty much directly home where she sees something for the first time. She's pouring herself a little
she's
glass
just
of
chugging
wine,
wine, by
as
the
I
way.
would, as I would. She
Yeah,
just saw
as
someone slit
most of us
their
would.
throat
Yeah,
in front of her, so she's like needs a little Pinot Gris. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah.
so she's
Hanging out with Mustache. Rest in peace.
R.I.P. Mustache. Anyway, so yeah, she's chugging some wine, and then and then she like breaks the glass, and Trevor's like, "Wow, you idiot! I'm gonna divorce you over this," because he fucking hates her.
He does not start like that.
No,
He
he
is
doesn't.
very good during that very first scene,
He's
and then
very good when but he like doesn't ask her any details about the murder or the suicide
exactly.
that happened.
But
but he's not
not
awful,
everybody,
though.
not everybody wants to talk about it. You know what I mean?
You could offer.
Like, I don't know if I witnessed that. I'm like, do I want to fuck up my significant other's day? Like my day's fucked up by explaining that I saw someone do that. You know
That's
I mean?
what they're there for.
That is true, but like not everyone's like that, and obviously she is somebody who holds a lot in.
That's true.
Because
They I will give you that. They do seem to have a dynamic that's like kind of avoidant.
And it doesn't even seem like she ever really talks about like her mom to her sister or anything. So it's like it seems like everybody in her life she doesn't talk about shit
Yeah.
with, which is why everyone's like, "Hey, take a motherfucking vacation, dog."
Yeah.
like her boss is saying it, her
Yeah.
family's saying it, like her friends are saying. Everyone's just like, "You should probably chill."
Yeah. Which I will say, I think for Rose, I do wish that we had just like a little snippet. I think you kind of said this earlier. I don't know if you were saying you wish that this would happen or if you're just pointing out that we didn't have this. But I do feel like I wish we would have had like a just little snippet into her life before this happened, because I feel like we have nothing to gauge. Like, we don't know how to compare how she's currently acting to how she is in real life. And I feel like that's important, because I did write down that I do feel like, a lot of this is symbolic of like, avoidance, PTSD, like, stuff like that. And there's a lot of implications that she is an avoidant personality. And, this is a shame and a guilt, with her mother's death that she's carried her entire life, even though she's a grown woman at this point. So it's like, clearly that is a pretty big part of things, and clearly the way she's acting is extremely out of character, but we don't know that because we never see her. And
no,
what
when
I
we
will
see
say
her,
is
she's
she is
already going through it.
melting down, and she melts down fast, and she melts down hard.
It drops off a cliff.
She's like screaming. We got like 5 separate car scenes of her like having a hallucination, then screaming "fuck" and like going like that to her steering wheel.
When we get it's a little bit after the scene, because we've already talked about the mustache scene.
Right.
The scene afterwards when she goes to her sister's house, which is a crazy fucking scene, by the way, where it's like I gave your son my dead cat in a box, and then I'm like, you know what it was? It was a curse.
I figured it out. It's not my fault.
I got it all. It was a curse, and it was passed on to me by some girl that killed herself. So what I have to do is I have to kill myself in front of somebody.
Yeah.
like that is not gonna get anybody on your side.
Yeah, for sure.
At all.
And to Holly's credit, I think she is genuinely willing to hear her out in that scene. And that is the first time that you ever, and that's the first and only time, you really see any sort of like openness or compassion from Holly, but then as soon as fucking Rose starts talking,
Yeah.
she's like, nah. I
Yeah,
can't do
you
this.
know what? I really wish I could, but you guys stay away from me and my kid. Like,
Yeah.
but you do have one of the best scares of the movie that happens during this scene is when she goes back to the car
Yeah, that was
and
creepy.
you see the body of her sister walk up and tap on the
Yeah, and
window,
you're
and then
thinking
she
she's
goes
coming
to
to
look.
like apologize or something.
Yeah, be like, hey, like, just finish something or like leave it on a better note than that. And then her fucking head drops down, smiling, and that's
That one's pretty
that's when
creepy.
you see her freaking out in her car, and then it cuts to the nephew looking from the window up on the top floor, and you just see her freaking out in the fucking.
Yeah, she's like screaming. The whole neighborhood can hear.
Yeah.
And this is like, mind you, like the second or third time she's done this at this point. It's like over and over. Because she either hallucinates or she falls asleep in her car and then has this like horrible dream. And then she'll wake up and just be like, fuck!
Yeah, and then because it happens again later when she finds out that if she kills somebody,
She does it then. She does it when she's leaving the
yeah,
hospital after her boss is like trying to like she has the whole hallucination where she like envisions herself going to kill the patient.
yeah,
Which we can get into a little more, but yeah, she does it then too. It's so
yeah.
often.
No, she like honestly,
Queen of breaking down in
honestly,
her car. Relatable.
what I will say is, I think most of the other performances are just okay, but I do think she killed it
I
in
agree.
this. Like
I
she
agree.
truly like and I would say the
I think
makeup
Laura
team
was great
too
too. She just
really
was a
made
small
her look
part.
haggard. Yeah, yeah, but I like she just seemed yeah, I think it's just like we don't see enough of like other sides of Laura other than her just being a shitty sister. You know
No,
what I
not
mean?
Laura.
So
Not
like,
Holly. No, no, that's Holly. Laura's the
oh,
chick at
I'm
the
sorry.
beginning.
The chick at the beginning,
No,
yeah, she
Holly's
was
just
also
fine.
creepy, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Holly's, yeah,
but I Laura, we don't see much of her, but she does. I think her monologue at the beginning is pretty solid. Like I could feel her
yes,
panic. I could see it on her
yeah,
face.
and it's just a ramp up, and then the sudden,
Yeah,
yeah, no, that she no, she
but I
did do a
agree.
great
The
job for the
Rose,
limited amount of screen time.
yeah, our main character Rose though, I completely agree. Sosie Bacon, she fucking killed that shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
It's her like shaking and like you said, they made her look real haggard. They made her look extremely stressed, extremely sleep
mm-hmm.
deprived. I believed all of that. Like that felt very genuine to me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it just it's one of those things where my my issue is like not that movies can't be about bad things happening to good people,
Yeah.
but like the only thing that we have seen that she did that was slightly bad, she did as a child. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So it should not be held against her as a human
No.
being. As an extremely traumatized child, by the way, and not just like
Yeah.
um, like so it's just like the things that she goes through is probably why the movie just does not sit well when you
Yeah.
watch it. Is you're just like really stressed
That's
and you're like,
fair.
man, I really hope she figures something the fuck out because she does not deserve what the fuck is
Yeah,
happening to
and
her
she's not
at all.
stupid about it either. Like I think a lot of movies like that I'm like, you deserve this shit. You're acting like an idiot. But I will
Yeah.
agree because I honestly I remember like I feel like there was a minute there where horror movies were a little too optimistic for me, and then we got to a point where we're kind of like bringing it back to the
Pessimistic,
yeah,
yeah.
and then but then
Yeah.
but I can appreciate that. I can appreciate like a hopelessness in a horror movie because I do feel like that
Mm-hmm.
definitely adds. But I do think you're right. I think she's like too like you have too much sympathy for her. Like it sucks.
Yeah. I, like not to spoil anything about Smile 2. Um, but that is more of a case where we see more a multifaceted approach to the protagonist in that, which we do not get here. which is what a sequel should, is that you give different stuff compared to the first film. But like, yeah,
Yeah.
I think that is my main complaint, is that it's just like, you have only showed us how much of a saint this woman is,
Yeah, you
outside
just
of
feel
that
so
one
fucking
event,
bad.
and it doesn't feel good to
Yeah,
watch. You know
she
what I mean?
not to mention she works at like this clinic that's like extremely like the low funding, and she's
Underfunded.
underfunded, and she
She
continues to get
could be
people
making
pro
money.
bono cases because she like can't handle charging them, because she's like, they need
Yeah.
this, they need it, they can't afford it. Like, she's a good fucking person. And it really does suck, and it's like, and it does add to it, but it also really fucking sucks to watch her go through.
Yeah. Yeah. And
And
like,
I understand that they're trying to drop you just like into a point in time. Like, it's not the movie's job to give you like her entire rundown, but I do feel like if we can get a little snippet of her childhood, we could get maybe just a
mm-hmm.
little something, like maybe the movie could have started with her going to dinner with her sister or whatever.
Yeah.
And you get a little bit of like what Rose, because we just see her insta stressed out and
And
insta like traumatized. So it's like
yeah.
seeing her like every day, work life where she's a
Yeah.
workaholic, and then she
Just
goes to dinner with her
5 minutes at the
sister.
beginning.
Yeah, just a little
Like,
something.
you could have did the opening scene could have stayed the same, where you see her looking at her dead mom,
Mm-hmm.
and then it cuts to like her having a normal life.
I
She
agree.
seems normal, and then everything starts to drop.
Yeah. Not to
Instead, it
mention,
cuts to like her being like, "We need money for this fucking shit. Oh God, someone's fucking coming here now. I gotta help
yeah.
them."
Yeah, it's just always bad. Like, there's literally nothing good that happens to this
There's
woman in
nothing
this
good
movie.
about her, like, for going for her in this movie. Like, even
Yeah.
even as we say, like, her fiance, not good. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
And like, and on top of that, I really feel like it could have shown sort of like more into her childhood, having seen her as an adult interacting with her sister, because clearly, even before any of this happened, she's like, her and her sister's relationship isn't the best. Like, clearly she views her sister, her older sister Holly, as very like materialistic, very shallow, like very, whatever. And Rose definitely views herself as someone that like tried to take what they went through and make something good out of it. So like, they
yes.
clearly have some sort of they're button heads a little bit, but just seeing kind of like that dynamic a little bit would have been nice. Um
Hmm.
Instead of just
Yeah,
immediate strife.
like when we first meet the sister, we are immediately like, she sucks. Her and her
Yeah.
fucking weird looking husband.
Yeah, he
Um,
said. What he said too. She goes. What's this Saturday? Because her sister's like, "Are you coming Saturday?" And Rose goes, "What's this Saturday?" And the fucking husband goes, "Oh God, come on." You're
yeah.
like,
Like, you guys fucking, you like, seriously don't fucking remember that our kid that's like weird and has Coke bottle glasses had his birthday
hey,
this
why's the
weekend?
kid catching strays? He
Yeah,
didn't do
yo,
anything. And he got given a
I'm
fucking
sorry.
dead
It's
cat for
bringing
his
up my
birthday.
trauma as a kid.
Yeah, don't project onto this kid. He's been through
I'm
enough.
like, I haven't had a birthday since I was 8. What the fuck do you need?
Yeah, you should be grateful. I would have killed for a dead cat.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. At least you can eat that.
That's crazy. That's insane. Anyway, moving on. My next point. Oh wait, never mind. I brought that up already. I was going to talk about the scene with the fiance in the car. Oh, but this is a good point to mention. Is there anything Oh, I'll go back to that. Sorry. I was going to ask, is there anything, cuz I am trying to put myself in the shoes of her loved ones to a certain extent. Is there
Yeah.
anything you could have been told at this point, if this was your fiance or your sister, or just like, someone close to you? Is there anything she could have said that would have made you believe her and like try to help her? Or would you just like,
Um,
no matter what she said, would you kind of just be like, you're crazy? Be honest.
I think, like, I probably would have been more like Joel's character, where like, I initially I'm like, oh, you're fucking nuts, but then I'm like, let me just look into it a little bit, just a
Yeah.
little bit. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, no, I'm not saying that like I would like I don't have the connections like he does to the fucking police and shit, but like I would look up if anybody's had a similar thing, or if this is a even if it's just a symptom of a some sort of mental illness that
Yeah.
people have or something like that. I would
Yeah.
I would do a little bit, but I do think perhaps I would have also done the thing where I'm like, let me just get the therapist involved a little bit.
Yeah.
That way I can have them as backup while I try and
Yeah.
engage with her to see if she is
Yeah.
acting nuts,
And to
just to have
and
both
to Joel's,
perspectives.
yeah, I think with Joel, Joel is, as a reminder, her detective ex. It's a little bit more believable, I feel like, from where he's sitting, because he is able to see some sort of proof, in that, like, she comes to him asking him to look up these police reports because she hears that her patient had someone commit suicide in front of her,
Yeah.
her professor. And then she then goes to see the wife of said professor, who is now dead, RIP. And she goes to talk to him, and the wife mentions that her husband had seen someone kill themselves in front of him.
Yes.
So, and also, mind you, these people all have some sort of deep-rooted trauma in some way. Like Laura, the woman before Rose, had her grandfather died in front of her.
Died in front of her. Yeah.
Yeah, the professor, when he was a young, I think he was like a teenager, a young adult, his brother died in a car accident, and his wife mentioned he never got over that. So, like, these are all people, anyway, thought that was worth mentioning. But
Yeah.
but once she hears that, she does go to Joel, and he is able to, like, look this stuff up and see a pattern. And he's thinking it's like kind of more of like a suicide pact or something like that, which is understandable. That's probably where my brain would go to. But he's able to see the nature of the suicides as well, because they're all very violent. Because they mentioned that the Smile entity needs it to be traumatic. When she talks to the inmate later, who
he
is
says,
our
be
only
as bloody as possible. Yeah.
basically he just says, make it count, like, make it as gruesome as possible, which we could get into, is the only person in this chain that
Who's broken it. Yeah.
who's broken it, who has not died. He is the only person that has seen it that has not died within a week time frame.
Yes.
And that is because he killed someone in front of someone else. So then whoever witnessed that is who it was passed along to. So we then see Rose kind of going back and forth with the idea of is she willing to kill someone or not.
Well, it's not only that though. Is when she's talking to him, like she makes it seem like, oh, it's my like friend or whatever.
Yeah, she said it was her patient.
This isn't for me. This is for my for my patient. Yeah. And then he's just like, you got to kill somebody and you got to make it as bloody as possible. And she goes like, I can't kill somebody.
Yeah.
then he's immediately like, get the fuck away from me.
Like, he's like, you have it.
He's like, God damn it, I got away from this fucking shit. You get the fuck away.
Yeah, he's like, you're not giving that shit back to me. Hell no. I don't blame him. I'd be mad too.
Everybody who she comes in contact with in this movie hates her afterwards.
Yeah.
It happens with the wife. It happens with the inmate. It happens with like the patients. It happens with like.
She is doing an awful job at keeping it together, which I would be too. Because
no, she's terrible.
She's terrible because, like, in front of she does lose her mind and get kicked out of that one dude's house when she's talking to his wife, and understandably so, because she's like, she goes, did your husband like describe if he had done any? It was something like, has he done any research on how to fix it, or like something like that? And the woman's like, what kind of reporter are you? Because I think she says she's a reporter. And she's like...
she's just like, where do you work?
She goes, Mrs. Muniz, your husband wasn't crazy. I've seen it too. And then his wife's like, are you some sort of sick motherfucker? Get out of my house. Which, understandable. I would too. I'd be like, get out of here.
It is so funny how quickly these people switch up on her. Where it's
Me
like, you are a
too, though.
stupid motherfucker. Get the fuck away from me, you fucking psycho.
Well, because she lost her husband, and they make her ID the body, and his is one of the most gruesome, if not the most
His like
gruesome.
whole jaw is gone. It's terrible.
It's
Yeah, it's
terrible.
rough.
And so she sees her husband, and she mentions like that was the last thing she ever saw of him. And then she has that. Plus, he has a room. He was an artist, so she has a room full of just this
The
creepy,
smiles,
awful
yeah.
art because he was drawing a lot of what he was seeing. So that's what she has to remember her husband by is his jawless face and his fucking room full of creepy art. And that's it.
Yes.
And she's clearly still traumatized. This is recent, mind you. This is all
Yeah, because
happens
all
within,
of this, like, what's like a month or two, because they only last 4 days, and there's been like
4 to
19 of
7
them or
days.
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's got to be a lot within like 2-3 months tops of what's happening. It's pretty nuts.
So, and her husband was only the second to last victim. So his was
so
recent. It
a week
would have been
ago,
a
yeah.
week, a week and change maybe at most. So this is what this woman has just dealt with. She's like willing to talk to this person, which I wouldn't have even been willing to do. And homegirl starts talking about, no, your husband, he was seeing the things. He was, I swear.
It's like, oh, a crazy white lady is in my house.
Get out! Get out!
Get your fucking Caucasian ass out of here.
and then she fucking does the same thing on accident this time, but still, again, horrible job at keeping it together. She ends up saying the same thing to the inmate, and then bro, understandably so, is like, the fuck are you doing here? With the
it's like,
curse
if you kill yourself in front of me, I'm back on it.
Yeah, which he clearly like didn't. He wasn't a murderer. That's like not something he wanted to do. He did that.
No,
so
he
that
just didn't
want
to die. Yeah.
Yeah, and that was clearly like, and he's like, I did all of that, and now you're just back here. Like, fuck
He's
off.
like,
I would have the exact same reaction. I would have the exact same reaction.
I just thought of this.
What did you just think of?
I think the best way to get away with it is to kill somebody with a car and make it seem like an accident.
I mean,
because everyone's first go-to is like, oh, I'm going to stab someone to death or like bludgeon them. But if you like hit them with a car, you probably are going to prison. But it won't be like for life, like stabbing someone to death.
I mean, you'd feel so guilty though that you'd probably be like, I deserve this. You know what I mean? Here's what I would do, and this is what I thought Rose was gonna do when I first watched it. I thought she was going out to her house, in the middle of nowhere, because she towards the end decides that she needs to go back to her childhood home to face basically this trauma that she has never processed. I think she is hoping that she needs to stop running from this, and that if she goes to her childhood home, she can face it, and I guess she's hoping that'll fix something, and then that way she's in the middle of nowhere and she can't hurt anybody. I don't know. I guess that's her thought process. What I thought she was gonna do, and what I would do, is I thought she was gonna go kill herself in the house alone with no witnesses so that she could end the curse.
Breaks the chain,
Which, like, obviously fucking sucks, but I would rather die than be haunted by those things, because really the thing that makes this movie so scary to me is the impersonations. I think like the fact that she has her therapist, who else? Oh, Joel, her ex at some point, like all
her sister,
her boss, her sister, like all these her patients, like all these
and
people.
her mom at the end too.
Her mom, she sees all these people, and it is extremely real to her, and they are making themselves out to be real. It's not like they immediately smile and announce that they're the smile monster. They like lure her in using their voice, or talking to her genuinely, and then they announce it. So it's like, I remember thinking at the beginning with Laura, like, I imagine how scary it would have been when Rose walked in. No, go ahead.
I just want to that's a quick aside. That smile voice is kind of stupid.
Are you talking about where the Wait, who did it?
Like it's the therapist does it at one
I
point
agree. I wrote
where it's
that
just like
down.
he's like it's almost time, Rose.
Yeah, and
And
she's
yeah,
already
it's
doing
like
that awful
oh.
smile. No, I agree. It was
And
bad.
I was like, oh no, you didn't have to do all that. But yeah, no, like I do agree with you with what you're saying, but continue.
No, I agree. It was real bad. And I
Mm.
did say, I literally wrote, fake therapist scene creepy. I do, however, hate when something paranormal is happening and they put that deep, gravelly monster voice under the person's normal voice. It feels so corny and takes me out of it. The acting
It's
Rose did in that
terrible.
scene was very good, though, so I could look past it, is what I
Yeah,
said.
yeah. It's just like every time she's on screen, it's fine, and then you cut to like the other people doing like
That's like literally
Rose.
exactly how her face looked. But yeah, she's like, it's almost time, Rose.
It's like time for what?
Time for
Why? My
what?
thing is like what's going on, man?
No, I agree.
But I mean, we're getting into the ending here, so I mean,
Yeah.
we can just talk about it. Where basically, like she's like, I know what to do.
Yeah.
She's talking to Joel on the phone, driving back to the old house, and we do. She talks about this with her sister when her sister asks you like, why don't we just like sell it or like demolish it or
Which
whatever.
great point, Holly. I too would
Yeah,
have wanted to sell it. Hello? Like there's
yeah.
nothing but bad memories there for both of them.
I also didn't realize how fucking bad that house looked too. Like that house is in complete
We will
disrepair.
also put a
Like
photo of that. It's bad.
yeah, it's rough. And like Joel's immediately like, yo, what? Like, what are you gonna do? Like, even though it doesn't seem like he knows that she's gonna kill herself, he just knows she's gonna do something, which um, but.
Yeah, I don't totally know
Anyway,
what his thought process
she
is.
goes to the house and uh she like goes she like goes to the basement, right? Is that what
The
she
basement or
ends
the
up doing?
garage, something like that, to get
Something
lights
like
because
that.
the lights
Yeah.
don't work in the house anymore.
Yeah, the lights don't work, which is I don't know why you need lights if you're gonna kill yourself.
I don't think she was planning
But
to.
that she literally says on the phone, she's just like, I know how to end this.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that she thought that she just had to face it. She was like, I'm not running anymore. This is my mind, whatever. Because
Yeah.
she was
Yeah,
waiting
I
around for it.
guess.
Like, I think if she wanted to kill herself, she would have just done it off the. And
Yeah,
also, she
because
was
that's
still
what
fighting it
I
at the
thought she was
end.
going to do. Yeah, yeah.
She's still fighting it. Like,
Um,
she clearly. And then she does have this whole hallucination where she thinks she's. This is the most fucked up part.
this is when it gets real bad.
This is real bad. So Rose
Yeah.
thinks that she has defeated this. Basically, she goes
Yes.
to the house. She ends up replaying this scene from her childhood. She walks into her mother's old bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
She then like sees her mother in front of her, apologizing, and they're having a conversation, and that was real traumatic. Where was I going with that? I had a point.
I don't know. I thought we were just going through the scene
No,
and then we were going to talk
but
about
I
it.
had something that I was gonna tie into it. Fuck.
It's fine. I can just continue talking about the scene while
Go for it.
while you think about it. So basically, they have the conversation, and then it comes to the whole like I'm going to confront my trauma type thing, and the smile monster it goes to like I guess fight back and makes the mom turn into like a monster that's like 7 foot tall,
Yeah.
and basically reenacts the one scene from It Follows where it just ducks under the doorway and is like really huge and
Yeah.
to be honest it's kind of stupid. Like this is where like some of the cornier aspects of the movie come in where it's like
Yeah.
it is creepy visually, but it comes into a whole thing where it's just like no, I'm not afraid of you anymore type thing, and they have like this mental battle.
This is my mind.
Yeah, like she like grabs her throat and then she somehow just like manages to pull the hand off her throat, and you're like, oh, okay, I guess this is where the thing is gonna go, where it's just like, no, I am in control of myself, and then she's not. We find out
Yeah,
very
well,
quickly.
she lights the house on fire,
Yeah,
and the demon, the smile like entity, burns within it, and she
inside.
then
Yeah.
drives to Joel's house, And you have this like emotional scene where she's like exhausted. She's finally relaxed. You see her driving home. She's like still haggard, but like clearly at peace a little bit. Gets to Joel's house, is like, you know, clearly comforted by him. And she basically is like, can I just sleep here? Can you just stay with me while I sleep? You know, because she hasn't slept in fucking a week probably. And then you end up finding out through Joel doing a little smile face, being like, I'll be with you forever, that she never made it out of the house. She's still fucking there. She still fucking there. And then, right at that moment, the real Joel pulls up to help her. And she's like, hell no, I just saw you and you were a fucking demon. So she runs inside.
The whole... she leaves the room and then she's outside of the house that's on fire, and then she's just like, oh fuck,
and then she turns around and it never caught fire in the first place, and real Joel's there, and she's like, fuck you, because she doesn't know what to believe. She doesn't know who's real.
Yeah. Well, I think it's more like, oh fuck, you need to go, because if you see what's about to happen, I think, because that's why it seems like that's why she locks the door.
Maybe I thought that was like, get the fuck away from me, I just saw fake
No,
Joel.
I think it's more like, oh, she realizes what's about to happen and he's the only one around. Which unfortunately is the case, because she goes, it's weird, she goes into the house, and then the like, you know, it's revealed that the mom creature is still alive and is fully in control of the situation. And then like something happens where she just, like, all fight leaves her and she just falls to her knees. And this is the one really creepy thing, and probably my favorite part of the movie, where we actually see the smile creature come out of like the mom, and it's like this thing with like multiple smiling faces all down its neck, and it like grabs her mouth and like all these long appendages and just like spreads it open,
jaw open, and climbs inside.
It's very visceral looking, and like, you know what's about to happen. And when Joel finally gets in, we just see her staring at the opposite wall, like Blair Witch style. And she's pouring like gasoline. She's poured gasoline on herself, and
is holding matches.
She lights herself on fire.
And then I really liked you then cut to Joel, and you see in the reflection of his eyes her burning. Like you just see her body burning, and I really liked that little scene. But and that's how the movie ends, is fucking Joel, and then it fucking ending credits, lollipop, lollipop, lollipop.
Which, did they ever play that song earlier in the movie? Because it seemed like an asshole of a song.
I think they literally were just like, hey, that was the most depressing movie of all time. Here, what can we do that'll just like immediately like shift it and give contrast to how fucked up that just was? Which they could have played it earlier and I just didn't notice, but I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think I noticed it earlier in the movie at all. But that was a crazy ass song choice at the end.
No, it was crazy. I did want to talk about just a couple more scenes that I thought were real creepy. I do agree. I think that last one was pretty good. I thought the first call she ends up having, she ends up her cat, I'm pretty sure this is when her cat gets out. And then you really don't know how the cat's killed. You don't know if it actually is the smile monster, or if maybe like she's kind of blacked out and killed it.
I forgot about that.
You really don't know what it is, but her alarm starts going off. This is like earlier on in the movie. At this point, I'm pretty sure she's already like seen a couple things, but she's not convinced yet that like anything's up. Really,
I think we've only seen like the reflection of the, like, you see one where she's like kind of in the shadows of the patient kitchen. Is yeah,
and that,
but I think that's really it at that point.
So then her alarm ends up going off, and she's, you know, very on edge already, so she's kind of like freaking out, and she's like carrying around a knife and whatever. Then she gets a phone call from the security company, and they're basically like, hey, name and code or whatever. And then she's like, oh, you know, gives her name and code. And then they're like, are you alone in the house, ma'am? And she goes, yes. And they go, are you sure? And that creeped me the fuck out. I will say,
Mm-hmm.
"Are you sure?" And she goes,
Yeah.
"Are you sure you haven't let something in, Rose?" And then
Yeah,
pretty
like
much,
that's
that's
creepy.
creepy.
Something in, have you let something in is a very good line. Like
Yeah.
that is very good. And it was delivered very well
It was
too.
delivered very well, and then
Um,
she immediately after gets the actual call from the security company, which to me, I
uh-huh.
really liked seeing both of those because it just goes to
Yeah.
show like everything she is seeing that's fake, it's like could just as well be real as anything else. Like
Yeah.
everything seems, and her therapist. I know we've mentioned this scene a couple of times. Her therapist, her husband, sorry, fiance, brings the therapist in earlier, and that was real to our
Yes.
for what to our knowledge. But later
Mm-hmm.
on, the therapist ends up making a house call,
Yeah.
which we've talked about the scene, and that's not her therapist at all. And in the
Mm-mm.
middle of her talking to her therapist, she gets a call, and the therapist is like, "Do you want to get that?" And she
Yeah.
answers it, and it's like,
And
"Hi,
it's the
hi, Rose.
therapist.
This is
Yeah.
what's her name?" She goes, hi, Rose. This is Dr. Northcott." And she's like, and you're like, "Oh fuck."
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
then that's when she did her horrible smile and kind of ruined that scene. But that part was real good. And then I don't know what I was talking about here. Maybe you can. I should have wrote.
What'd you
Oh,
say?
I remember now. I remember. Okay, this is the scene that creeped me out the most. That I think really set me on edge for the rest of the movie.
Mm.
Whenever Laura, or sorry, Rose has just figured out, something's kind of happening, she listens back to, I guess she records everything, like all her sessions, even emergency
Yeah,
ones.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, that was a good
That
scene.
was
I
so
forgot
good.
about this. Yes. Yeah,
Yes.
she's sitting at the computer, and it's weird though because she's zooming in on a part of the audio, the wave file, you know what I mean, which is what I'm going to be doing when I'm fucking editing this podcast. But it's like weird. We don't see anything that she like. It doesn't even look like there's even a perceptible like noise on the file, but she seems honed in on it. She keeps repeating it over and over and over again, and there's nothing. And then you have that fucking jump scare that
Yeah. So
like
she's,
really
yeah.
gets
Which
you.
what we're referring to, by the way, is that original scene that she has with Laura. Her and
Hmm.
she's listening to it back, and she's saying something like oh, it's whenever her patient kind of starts to flip out. She on the recording, and she is Rose. Rose on the recording goes, "Laura," and then she doesn't get a response. But
Hmm.
like Josh said, she keeps zooming in and replaying this. She enhances the audio, and you end up
Hmm.
hearing it say like Rose, like real quietly, like
Yeah.
Rose. And then she replays that a couple times, and then the last time we see Laura like right next to her, and she
Hmm.
goes Rose
Yeah.
like real loud.
Yeah.
that
Hmm.
that scared me so bad. I got full body chills that lasted for
Yeah.
probably like a full 30 to 45 seconds. And that's why
Yeah.
I will say that I thought that actress did such a good job, because the very few parts that she had, she just killed them
She
all.
killed it.
She
Yeah,
killed it.
absolutely.
So that really fucking scared me. I like
No,
that one.
and it's one of those things too where it's like I think a jump scare. I usually don't like jump scares because people don't do them right. They'll just throw them in
And they're
randomly
overused.
for an or like it's coming. You know what I
Yeah.
mean, type thing. But the way this does is it really gets you. It's just like, hey, listen, you gotta listen
Yeah,
close
you're
to
like
this. Come
really,
here, you gotta
yeah.
listen. And then all of a sudden it happens, and you're like, "Fuck, you got me!" But I really wanted to hear what the fuck it was that they
Yeah.
were saying.
Yeah.
It was good. It was very, very, very good scare, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah, like there is like I guess like we can kind of delve in. Is there anything else you wanted to talk about the movie specifically, like specific scenes or
I don't
whatever?
think so.
Or
I think I went through everything.
all right. So like yeah, like I guess we could talk about like opinions of the movie.
Yeah, let's get into
Now
that.
where like I like what let me double check. I did make a small review on Letterboxd. I just want to see what score I gave it. I think it was 3
I think so
or
too. I
3.5.
think I read your review right before. Got this,
Yeah,
got
three and a
this.
half. So yeah, I gave it 3.5 out of 5. I think I do stand by it because it's just like I know you say you don't like optimistic things and things get to be too optimistic, but I'm like this was just really
Real bleak.
really bleak.
Yeah, it
Like
was.
just unnecessarily bleak. Um like it cuz it just it like the story like the horror aspect good. The paranoia that you feel from Rose and everything good because like if and this is gonna get into my point that I'm gonna make in a little bit. Like if we didn't know about the smile stuff, like if we didn't know that it was a curse,
Mm-hmm.
you I think the anxiety would be heightened even more because you don't know what is she crazy? Is there something
Yeah.
happening to her? But instead you like no because that's the point of the movie, you know?
Yeah.
But like but then we just talking about like some of the scares like that recording scene,
Mm-hmm.
the practical effects of the creature at the end,
Yeah.
some of the death scenes and the mind fuck scenes when you think something's happening and something isn't actually happening. Like that is really good. But it's just like I don't know what the film is trying to say if it's trying to say something at all because I don't think its depiction of mental health is really the best.
Mm-hmm.
It's uh yeah, it has issues. You talk for a little bit while I formulate some of the stuff that I want to
Okay.
say.
So, what I will say is, I think that this movie does better on a second watch. The first time I watched it, I believe I rated it because I just re-rated it, but I'm pretty sure I looked at it right before this, so I'm pretty sure it was either a 2.5 or a 3. Is I think what I
Hmm.
rated it. I was not a huge fan of it at the. I thought it was like spooky, but I just took a lot of issues with it. But I
Yeah.
re-rated it a 4. This time.
Really?
I
I'm actually
re-rated it a
surprised you
4.
went higher.
I went higher. I think that this movie does better on a second watch. I think what I will say is there are obviously issues with the, I do understand some of what you're saying. What I will say is I like how bleak this movie is. It's not a movie I could watch often. It is not a movie
No,
like it's not like
you got to be in a
a
certain state of
yeah.
mind.
And I don't know that I want like an entire pocket of horror to just become that bleak. It's not like I want to watch
No.
that level of bleak over and over. But
Mm-mm.
I will say I think to a certain extent I don't think it's trying to say anything in terms of like having like a helpful story or like a productive metaphor. I really think it's kind of it obviously is symbolic of mental health completely. I think primarily probably um, PTSD, depression, whatever, stuff like that. But I don't think it's meant to give really like a hopeful side to it. I think it's kind of meant to show that this is how it is for some people. Some people never get it is bleak. That's fucked up. It sucks. But the negative side um of things is some people never get over it. And I think I liked the fact that her mother was kind of the same way. Like her mother just never got over it. And then the same thing with Rose. She just kind of she could never get over the trauma. She never processed it. She never dealt with it like ever. And it consumed her eventually. And that does suck and it is awful to watch, especially because you really do sympathize and like Rose's character, or at least I did.
Yeah.
So it is awful, but I think it's like it's kind of nice to see another side of things where it's like you see like how that is for some people, and I think especially people that really don't deal with stuff like that. I feel like that can kind of be like a nice window into it because the way that Rose was feeling, like the level of bleak and hopeless is like definitely something I've related to feeling like at points in my life for sure. And if if you're lucky, and like obviously the goal for everyone is you do get out of that space, but some people don't. And
They don't.
that
Yeah.
fucking sucks, but it's true, and it is a movie about suicide. And the fact of the
But
matter is, like, some people don't win that fight.
I agree with everything you're saying. And I think the movie could represent that better by not having the smile stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I think everything about the movie could fit into a really good and bleak depiction of the battle against depression and trauma and stuff like that. But I think the smile stuff undercuts a lot of that because you're like, but it's not her
Mm-hmm.
that's acting like this. She doesn't want to kill herself. She doesn't it doesn't even seem like she's had these feelings of wanting to kill herself. It's this other
Mm-hmm.
thing.
Well, so
Um
that's what's kind of tough though, is we don't see like her mental state, and that's why I think it would be helpful to have seen
to
more of
see
what
that.
she was
Yeah.
like beforehand, because really, like, the smile entity in my head, that is her depression, that is her suicidal thoughts,
Mhm.
like all of that is
Yeah.
like what she is fighting. So it's like we all have both sides of that, you know what I mean, even in your darkest
Yeah.
moments you do have that side of you that's fighting, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
I think I think the fact that they made it like the entity, like, I get what you mean, but I also think it makes it more palatable. I think it makes it more like widely enjoyable and understandable to have something like that.
Mhm.
And I think, like, honestly, I think the bleakness would have been like way too bad had there not been, like, I think you kind of needed the paranormal element to break it up to where it wasn't
Yeah.
like the most awful thing you've ever watched in your life. But so it's like kind of just, and again, it makes it more palatable. It makes it more like widely viewable. Um, but apart from that, what I will say is, like, my kind of final thoughts are, I do like those things about it. Again, I don't want that to become like a theme. I don't want to watch those over and over. I think that movie
Yeah,
did
yeah. We're
plenty, and
not
it
gonna
said
do
what it
another one of
needed to
these right in a
say.
row.
But but apart from like little nitpicky stuff, like the corny voice stuff that I didn't love, and like, some of the actors not being great, which really to me wasn't a huge thing because our main character was so like thoroughly what we were following and involved
Mhm.
with. Besides that, I thought a lot of the practical effects were really cool. I thought like the special effects makeup was really cool. um
Mhm.
I thought that the storyline overall was pretty cool. Again, broken record at this point, I do wish we would have seen a little bit more at the beginning. I think it
Yeah.
wouldn't have had to be more than a 5-minute scene to
Yeah,
have
and
done
I
it
think
for
that
us.
that is a detriment though,
For
where it's
sure.
like I think I can knock some points off because of like the fact like we just see this person at their worst
Yeah.
like and matter of fact the only other point in her life that we see is also really bad.
Yeah.
So it's like we don't see anything going well for her at all except for
I
that really
agree.
beautiful house that she lives in. But
It's stunning.
um yeah, crazy house. And they talk about her struggling living in her paycheck. I'm like, if you can afford that fucking house. You know what I
I know, for
mean?
real.
God damn. But yeah, like it's just like it, that's what I'm saying is like there are movies where like everyone dies and I'm like I'm okay with it ending like that. Um but it's just like if you're going to do that, show her as more than just her anxiety and depression.
Mm-hmm.
Is what I'm saying.
I agree.
We only ever see this part about herself, and
I
like
want to know why
not,
she's
like
fighting. And it's like her fiance kind of sucks. Her
exactly.
sister doesn't have a good relationship with her.
Hmm.
Her mom's gone. Like, what besides her work is positive for her? And like, what
Exactly.
is she fighting against? I completely agree, and it is stuff like that that makes it not a 5-star for me, because I do
Hmm.
think that is like a pretty big hole for me, and
Yeah.
and it's like really was so easily remedied. Um,
Yes.
and I don't know, but I do think besides that though, I think it got its message across well. I really, as awful as it was to experience, I still like my stomach still hurts a little, like thinking about it, and like I just feel kind of like a dread,
Yeah.
which sucks. But it's like I think that it really achieved what it was trying to achieve, and I think that that's impressive.
Yeah.
So I liked that. I think again, I would be interested to see what you think about it on a second watch, which I would recommend not doing for a couple years, which is what I
No,
did.
no, no, no.
I could,
Especially when I just watched the second one like back to back, so like I
yeah,
was just like, you know what, I'm kind of smiled out for a little
yeah.
bit.
Maybe in a couple years you can revisit and watch Smile again and tell me what you think, because I did
Yeah.
definitely have some opinion changes, and I wasn't expecting to. I went into it just wanting a refresher and expecting that I would have the same
Hmm.
opinion I did, and I thought I was gonna dislike the movie like a little more than I did for sure.
Yeah.
So I was honestly surprised at my own opinion of
Yeah,
it.
me too. I genuinely thought you were going to come out of it really negative, but I'm surprised you
I
gave it
thought
a four.
I really like, I used to kind of talk shit on that movie, but and I've noticed it's not just me either though, because there is a girl that I watch who does movie reviews, who
Hmm.
her review on there is I originally gave this like a 2.5 star, but she gave it like a
Yeah.
5 star today, which I disagree with.
Wow.
But she was
Yeah, I don't
like,
know if
but
it's
I
5 star, but
yeah, but she was like, I originally gave this a 2.5 stars, but I've rewatched it and I'm a Smile lover now. I get it, basically. So I do think, I don't know what it is really. I'm not smart enough to explain why. I think it
yeah.
works better.
I mean, and sometimes too is just like if your headspace is different when you watch a movie,
True.
it is just different. Like there are times where I'm like, I've watched movies that like I'm like, this was just a big piece of trash.
Mm-hmm.
And then I watched it again, being like, well, it's a big piece of trash. And then I had a good time with it. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
Like if I set a high bar for some films, which like I guess I kind of did with this because it was such a cultural phenomenon when it first came out.
Mm-hmm.
Where I was like, and it had a sequel, so I was like, okay, it did well and all this stuff, and
Yeah.
it's got good reviews. It's got like a 80% on Rotten Tomatoes, so it's not bad, especially for a horror movie. But yeah, I was just kind of a little disappointed
I
with
think
it,
definitely
and
that could, you having it hyped up, I think definitely could have something to do with it too. And when I watched it, I also had been, it was on the tail of everyone telling me to watch it. So
yeah.
that's another thing. I definitely think
Hmm.
giving it a minute was helpful for me for sure.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like, I don't know, I think you, as you get older and have more experiences too, you like just start to appreciate different things out of movies and whatever. And
Hmm.
I definitely agree with you. Like, I think a headspace thing is for sure
Yeah, it just
worth
can
noting.
change things sometimes. But but even though like my review isn't totally glowing, like a 3.5, like I don't think this is a bad movie whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
It's shot well, the acting's great, the
I
story is
the
good
dude,
enough, the scares are good. Um,
yeah.
so it's like just because I don't personally rate it on the legs of like some of my favorite movies of all time, I do still think it's worth watching and
Mm-hmm.
a perfectly good movie. So
Yeah, and I will say, I don't remember if we said this at the beginning, but the director Parker Finn, I know that we mentioned that he only has two movies, and that is Smile and Smile 2.
yeah.
But I honestly think, considering he directed it, and I'm not sure about Smile 2, but it did mention that he was one of the writers on the first Smile. I think
Hmm.
that, to me, I think that's pretty fucking impressive. Um,
Absolutely.
I don't know much. I don't really know anything about that dude, but I after learning that information, because we found that out right before we recorded
Yeah.
this, we're kind of like, God
Yeah.
damn,
Yeah.
that's for his first movie. I think it's pretty solid, and like I can forgive. I think that's another reason I can kind of forgive some of the holes in it a little bit, because I think that it got the point across enough to me, and because I've been through shit like that, I can kind of fill in the gaps. But I do wish, especially like I think for a wider audience to enjoy, especially people that may not have gone through
Yeah.
intense mental health issues, I do wish that we would have seen the parallel. But anyway,
Yeah. Because it's the whole thing. And I think if you're trying to get across, like, yes, sometimes sometimes mental health, like mental illness wins.
Yeah.
Um, but like when the people that get left behind, they don't remember you just as what you are fighting. You know what I mean? Like they remember you as like being funny, the things you liked, the moments that you shared together.
For
And because we
sure.
don't get any of that in this movie, it just makes it feel like it's like, oh, this person, the only thing in their life is really shitty things.
For
You know what I
sure.
mean?
Yeah.
So
Which
like
cuz
that's why
we're
it's just a
plopped
little
into
too
it. So
much.
like we
Yeah.
I think like I can fill in the gaps and, imagine in my head that there was more to it, but it's like
Yeah.
I do think that is important for like telling a story like this is like you really do need like a kind of more well-rounded picture of who the person is.
Mhm.
Um and I do think that is like for sure if I have a main complaint, that's the one. But I
Yes.
think like because I was about to say because I have the privilege of knowing what it's like.
Yeah, because I want to. Sometimes I
Because
want
I have the
to,
privilege
you
of
know.
wanting, yes, because I have the privilege of having almost when I was 16. Because I
Just
know what
like
it's
it's like,
like.
yeah, I had the grippy
Um,
socks once before. I know what it's like.
I get it. I can fill in the gaps, but I do think for people who, haven't experienced a mental health crisis or who maybe deal with it, but not as to an extreme level as that might be, definitely like I think that's a pretty big oversight. But
Yeah.
I still liked it enough and had a good time enough and thought that it got its point across well enough to have rated it 4 stars, and I stand by that.
Yeah.
So, but
Absolutely.
I also get your score and respect it, and it makes sense to me.
Yeah,
So,
and I would say I like knowing what we know now, like with the movie and stuff. I think it's just like if you are going to recommend this to a friend, maybe make sure they're good
yeah, for
before
sure.
watching it. You know what I mean? If they're at a low point already, watch another movie. I
Yeah, for
think.
sure. Because
Yeah,
it's
you know what I
not
mean?
an uplifting movie at all.
No, no, there's
Yeah,
no optimism, and I think people like that probably sorely need optimism.
for sure.
So
And I honestly forgot. I thought my memory like was wacky because I thought that she ended up making it out of the house. Like
mm-mm.
I knew that it was fake that first time, but I think
Yeah,
I thought that Joel ended up helping her. I don't know why. I don't know. Maybe I just was like
I
coping,
don't know.
but I thought that she made it out. So rewatching this the second time, that was kind of made it
You're
even
like,
like,
shit.
ugh,
Yeah.
yikes, because you literally like you go through all that shit with her, and it ends with her brutally murdering herself in front of Joel, and then he now has
Hmm.
the smile demon, and you also like his character, so you're like, well, fuck. Like, couldn't it have been given to Trevor? You know,
Yeah, just like
give it
yeah,
to
like that's
Trevor.
the thing. He's the one person that has like kind of been there for her the whole time, and
Yeah,
he's
and
the one
he
that gets
gets
it. Where
it. Give it
it's
to
like I
fucking
get it.
Trevor. But it makes
It's
sense though
tragic ending.
because if he is the person that cares about her the most, that he would be the person it affected the most. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, it's true, and he would be the one to find her. Like that.
Yeah.
That is,
And
yeah,
it makes sense. It just
uh,
fucking sucks. It
yeah,
sucks. But anyway, I think
uh,
that's kind of all I had to say on that.
yeah. No, good move.
I thought it was solid. I liked it.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so I'm gonna still record this part, just to see where we're at. So for our next one.
Okay.
Are we doing a movie? Are we doing a game? What was the conclusion of what we were talking about?
I think we should watch my favorite awful scary movie. It is
Okay.
called Burying the X. Have you heard of it?
Burying. I have not. Should I look it up or should I not look it up?
Don't look it up. It's like you need to just, but I will give you like a super brief, spoiler free
Yeah, yeah.
little, which this is stuff, you could read. It would say this in the summary if you Googled it, or not
Mm-hmm.
the summary, but like you know what I mean? Nothing that wouldn't be in a trailer. This was made, I want to say like maybe mid 2010s, if I remember correctly. It's basically this dude who he's dating this girl, and I'm blanking on some of the details. It'll be fun to rewatch. He's dating this girl for quite a while. She's kind of a bitch, and like he doesn't really super get along with her, and it becomes like clear over time they're kind of like not well suited. Basically, there's this item that's found in this antique shop or something where basically she makes him swear in front of her that like they'll never be apart, basically, or something like that. And she ends up, which again, this sounds like a spoiler, but it's like, it's in the trailer and shit, guaranteed. She ends up dying, and coming back to life after a while. And at this point, he has, is trying to move on with his life and is trying to see this other girl. And it's her trying to like, find her way back into his life, and him kind of navigating that, because they like never broke up or anything. And then
to her it's like nothing happened, but to him, exactly.
And then she comes back and she's like fully like worms and shit coming out of her ears, and she's fully like, well, what color should we paint the living room, sweetie? Like, just fully wants to go back to normal. So that's the one I want to watch. I love that fucking movie.
I am absolutely down.
I think we should watch that one together. I think it's gonna be hard to like not give too many opinions during is the only thing, but I want to see your reactions for sure.
Yeah, I think because of the current schedule that we had, where it was kind of like, all right, I just kind of wanted to get this episode out. Yeah. That way we could say we've done it and like, kind of get into what we need to do. It's kind of a test episode.
For sure.
But yeah, we can start thinking of how we're going to like record reaction things. Like we could do something where like we record reactions, post that, and then do a pod right afterwards. So we get like fresh media, actually, as a review, Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, I think this was cool. I don't know. Are we done? Thank y'all for joining us.
Thanks for joining.
Come back next week.
The
pod that
podcast.
We'll record ourselves saying it when we figure out the thing. We'll lay it over.
Thank you for joining us on the
Not on the Pod
podcast.
And just make sure you subscribe to the
Not on the Pod
podcast. And we'll see you guys next week.
And check out MeUndies, code AbbyJosh.
Yeah, that when that happens.
No, it's already
but not
happened.
Coca-Cola. But not
Coca-Cola. Not Coca-Cola. They killed kids.